Hey guys, it's me, Sally, one of the IOD sisters, and what we love about the Ikea Tarva 6-drawer dresser is all of the simple lines that it has. It's just perfect for that clean, minimalist look that everybody loves today, right? Less is more.
Darling, more is more. Maximalism.
Minimalism.
Maximalism.
Minimalism.
Maximalism. Minimalism. But really, the best thing about our products is when we see how you guys use them to suit your tastes. You can do minimalism, you can do maximalism, you can do farmhouse, you can do bougie, you can do what you want. And that's the whole point behind IOD products. So,
Exactly.
Today, we're gonna jack this up. You're gonna love it. Today it's all about color. It's about more is more. And
All stops pulled.
all stops pulled. Over the top, a bit much.
A little bit bougie.
Let's get started.
All right.
We're gonna cover this
See what I
with
deal with?
molds. We're gonna slather it with molds. And then that is gonna be gold. And we've got a special technique all about that we're gonna show you. Then this is all gonna be white. And then we're gonna cover it with Paintable Decor Transfers. And then we're gonna add a little bit of color onto it. Bright, bold, unapologetically saturated.
We said we were going over the
We
top.
told
Did
you.
you not believe us?
Don't be scared.
We're serious.
We're serious. Okay, let's take these hardwares off.
okay.
We are gonna slather this with molds as we said. So which one should we use?
I know. I love the idea of using the mermaids because that's
Yeah.
so bougie. Paint.
Totally. With gold.
Gold.
I feel like that's gotta happen.
Yeah. So I want to do that, and then this one. This is our Sea Sisters mold, and then there's a really pretty shell element in there we want to use.
With little baby mermaids.
And then this is Classic Elements, which is one of our best sellers because it has classic elements.
That you can build
Wait
and
for it.
build out.
Exactly.
So what should we use?
let's do them together.
Let's do both. Hello, it's maximalism. More is more.
Exactly.
All right. So some of you already know how amazing the IOD decor molds are and about our patent pending little micro rim that makes getting a clean casting and a nice release so much easier.
Amazing, guys.
It is. It really makes a difference. Those of you who've done some casting, especially with clay type mediums, will appreciate it.
Yeah.
So let's get started. We are going to, as we said, totally slather molds on the
Lavishly
bottom.
cover
Exactly. And
this
we have
area.
a little bit of a difference in height here that we have to contend with, but you know what? We're just gonna kind of mash it in and make it work. And this is our IOD air dry clay. We love it. It is easy to work with.
Squishy delicious.
It's squishy.
It's de-squishes.
That's an interesting way to put it. But if you ever need to, this is like 101 stuff you find on our 101 docs. If you're new to this, if you
IronOrchidDesigns.com, products, decor molds.
Yes. If you find that it's sticking at all and giving you a little challenge to release, a little bit of cornstarch with a brush. In fact, let me just show you that. If you find that your air dry clay or whatever medium you're using, because you can use it with polymer clay or even food safe, you know, sugar arts. But if
Cast
you find
resin.
that it's sticking or giving you any kind of resistance when you go to release it, there's a few tricks, but one of our favorites is just simple cornstarch, a very, very, very light dusting. So you're just gonna squish some in there, and then I just use my thumbs to remove most of the excess. Find my words. And then you can take a nice clean spackle knife and you can just draw it across like that until you're...
That's what the micro rim does.
That's what the micro rim does for you. Now I see I forgot to get a little spot in there, so I'm just going to backfill that and then pull that across so that you get a nice clean release like that. And the way we like to release it is we like to lay it flat down so that the casting's supported, and then peel back the mold so that it is, like I said, supported. And then there you have it. It's pretty. See the baby mermaids? They're everything.
They're so cute.
Okay, so let's set that aside and get our mermaids cast. And we'll go ahead and use just a wee bit of the cornstarch. We're gonna do 2 mermaids, and they don't fit the space perfectly, as you'll see, but it really doesn't matter because you can make them do whatever you want. Oops, let me put a little more here. You always want to keep your clay in a sealed package, especially when you're not using it, so that it doesn't dry out. Now, this gal has some arms and some details that you're going to want to, you know, be kind of take care of when you're filling it or what have you. Let's go ahead and get that all filled. I'm pretty sloppy. I just kind of really squish it in there.
Which you can more easily do with the micro rim.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have to be as careful with your edges because,
yeah,
as you saw, when she comes back through with the spackle knife, it cleans up those edges perfectly.
Exactly. Just really get it down in there. And probably
notice that Josie is going, let me show really quick. You don't want to go like this. You really want to be like this.
So you're not lifting the clay
right
up.
And you're not jabbing into it.
Right, you're not jabbing into it. You're drawing the excess off, but at an angle that keeps it pressed in.
Okay.
Let's get a little more there. I like to be able to see the micro rim, like right there.
Because then you know you're going to get...
Then you know, exactly, that edge is cut.
a nice clean edge.
And you're going to get that nice clean edge. So,
beautiful.
and in fact, because the little, any thin parts, like how our arms are a little more dainty.
And you're not going to find that micro edge. You won't find the micro edge on any other molds. It's patent pending and it's an IOD thing.
It is. So,
look at her. She's beautiful.
She's pretty. She's mermaid-licious. Just little.
Be gentle with those arms. You don't want to warp them.
Yeah.
And which sister am I doing?
This one, because we did this one.
Okay, well, I didn't remember that. You turned it around, didn't you? Did you turn it around?
I don't know. Maybe.
But you're sure it's this one?
No, do this one.
This one, okay.
You can tell that there's already clay. Shut up. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just saying.
You can tell that there's already clay. Oh no, that's not sarcasm.
That's happening in the video and I'm not editing it out. All right, so we are using Tite Bond Quick and Thick here. We like it because it's a high quality wood glue, and I'm just applying it with a spatula to the back of each of the castings. You want to make sure you get good, even coverage. You don't want it too excessive, but just, you know, get out to all your edges because you really want it to sit down and be completely adhered to your surface with nothing lifted off. Okay, I'm going to apply it right here in the center, and it's kind of nice because this is easily, you can easily find the center. Now, if you haven't put an excessive amount, if you've put, you know, you don't have extra glue, it should sit nicely. If you find that the glue that you've used is a little too much or whatever, it's causing it to slide, you can use some low tack tape and just tack it in place to hold it so that if it's on a vertical surface, it's not sliding down. So, but this is pretty nice. Now you want to go in and as best as you can without mashing your detail, make sure that it's seated down properly on there.
Okay guys, so we have all of our molds laid in, and we wanted to give you a close-up to show you how we just made them work for us. And the reason we wanted to show you that is because sometimes it will look a little bit disjointed when you first get them on there, but you'll see how it all comes together later. You really want to make sure that all of your pieces are connecting with the surface below it so that it's nice and strong. And also, so these are actually not dry. We are going to paint them wet. They are just starting to crust. And as they dry, you'll just kind of want to press them in.
Yeah.
Until, of course, you paint them, and then
you'll notice that we're actually using chip brushes.
Chip brushes.
And we typically use a nice high quality chalk type paint brush, but because we are going in on our castings that are not dry, we don't want to mash them, so we wanted something that was softer to get into those spots.
So maybe gentle.
Right.
Okay.
You may be wondering, why are they painting it dark gray when they said it was going to be gold? That's a great question. The answer is that this is a technique that's going to give you a aged gold leaf look, so that first off, it's doing two things here. So it's going to affect the tone of the gold itself, and then it's also going to allow for broken color in the gold, and it's going to show through.
Okay guys, so we have base coated, or painted rather, the base of this piece with a nice deep charcoal gray color. And we've removed the drawers and just set them on the ground here so that we can paint them separately. It makes it a little bit easier. Yeah. And we're going to be painting all of that with a white color.
Yeah, just a straight white. We've got all our castings applied and painted in a dark charcoal. We have a clean straight white on everything else, 2 coats.
Even our fingers.
Even our hands, 2 coats. And so the next step is we are going to start gilding. And this time, and there's lots of ways you can gild. You can use gold leaf, of course, which is gorgeous. But this is kind of a little shortcut. This is like a gilding paint, which we picked up at a local.
We're all about the shortcuts.
We are about the shortcuts, which we picked up at a local craft store. And this is in classic gold. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of a technique here where we're not getting solid. We're kind of going on a little irregular to leave some of that graphite showing through. So it looks like it's kind of worn back. I'm using a fanned brush, and there's a purpose for this because the brush is going to have little gaps in it. It's going to allow us to get a kind of a broken color effect so that it looks like aged gilding. So let me go ahead and start. And you can see once the paint is on the brush, it even kind of fans a little bit, breaks it up. So you can see the gaps that it's leaving, and we are going to get, it's not quite that sparse. We want to get in and get, you know, almost full coverage, but leaving it automatically actually makes it pretty easy to leave kind of a, you know, like I said, an old, worn, off in spots, almost chipped look to it.